Alright, so I'm back here in Twisted, and today I'm going to at least attempt to chase with the Dominator 1, since this is the vehicle that I have most recently achieved. But let's face it, it's probably not gonna last, because with a risk like that's not the right menu. With a risk like this, you're probably gonna need TIF 2. Got 100 Fahrenheit, 85 dew point, got 63% humidity, which is good, but probably won't last because humidity is currently 83, and I hope it goes down to 63, because the lower the humidity, the better visibility you will have with anything. But besides that, we have 8.6 lapse rate, which is just enough to be into the high-risk area. And then we have 4,000 cape, which is just ridiculous. So let's go fill up the 1% gas that I need, and then I guess we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so the good thing is, for this day, I am 90% sure that we have a northbound storm wind day, so that is obviously a good thing, because it's in the favor of most of these southern cities, Mizpah, Starbuck, and Sire, and then that also lowers the chance that I have to go to Viroqua, and I absolutely hate going to Viroqua because the roadmap down there is horrible. And then my favorite city could get hit over here, Waukesha, so that also could mean that Wadena could get hit, which is my second favorite city, and, well, obviously the Hazelton could get hit with this, so it's in favor of all of the northern cities, basically, and the further north you are, the more I like stuff, and already we have a storm forming over here near Hibbing. And you can see that just absolutely explode up there. That looks really cool, but yeah, you can see everything just absolutely blowing up over there, and well, hopefully it's going north like I think it is, because if it is going south, that is going to be quite annoying to chase. And yes, it is going north, definitely, so that is a good sign, and I guess well, obviously it still has yet to hook, and it's probably gonna do that near Mizpah or Starbuck, and yeah, near Mizpah. Right there is the start of a hook, so best place I see being right now is somewhere in between Hibbing and Wanaska. So this storm is actually emitting an insane anvil that goes almost off the map over there, so definitely the biggest anvil I've seen in Twisted in a hot minute. And yeah, this is definitely the hook. I see a mesocyclone popping up around here. I don't know why I sounded like I was from Alabama when I said that, but so actually stuff has changed, and sadly it looks like I might actually have to end up in Viroqua, so that's a little bit unfortunate, I guess. So I'm gonna try my best to get into the path of something down here, and I'm just now entering the storm on Route 15. So this right here, like northeast of this intersection, I see a mesocyclone popping up any minute now. And there is a mesocyclone over here in the fields, and it looks like somewhere in this Wanaska, West Viroqua, Helma area is going to get hit. So, actually, maybe a little bit further south than that. Maybe the biggest threat is to West Viroqua still, actually. So it's going to be a little bit annoying because the roadmap down here is absolutely disgusting. But I guess whatever has to happen, so it looks to be very accessible from where I am. I have to travel not very far to get into the path of this, and I can see the mesocyclone over here. It's right there. It's hard to see with all the trees, but you can definitely tell that it's in there, and it's a very common shape, but it's also a good shape that does a lot of damage often. And I believe that is going to touch down there, and actually, never mind, that did not touch down. But I either have to stay exactly where I am or head toward it a little bit more. And I think I'm gonna head toward it a little bit more just to be safe. And it actually shifted for Wanaska, so that was a little bit of a mistake, but it has touched down now, and it is definitely one of the stronger funnel shapes. So I'm gonna try to get toward Wanaska now. And it is now in yellow TVS, so it is rapidly strengthening, and yeah, that's definitely a strong tornado there. It's taking trees up from very far away, so definitely if it hits Wanaska, it's going to do a lot of damage. So I think I should be in the path, like, right about here, unless it shifted again, and oh, I'm perfectly in the path right here. I'm actually going to go a little bit more this way since there's no Doppler in this server and I can't tell exactly. So I think this way more should be safer, like right near this house, but I actually want to be able to see stuff. So I'm thinking right here should be okay. And now I'm going to deploy here. And yeah, this is still only a yellow TVS actually, but surprisingly it's still a yellow TVS actually. But yeah, this is definitely approaching quickly, and I am definitely going to get a good intercept on this. So yeah, it's definitely going to directly impact this house right here. And there's the house, the pieces of the house and stuff going everywhere. Here's the tornado, 96 mile an hour. And dipping down since we're in the center, and then back up at 97 mile an hour. So it is actually not rapidly growing at all. It's probably going to stay similar to this for its lifetime. But that was a very good first tornado there, and it's actually moving pretty swiftly, to my surprise. And I see it threatening Hiram over here, but there is a new storm that is threatening Funkley, and it's been a hot minute since I've seen Funkley get hit, so I want to go try to see over there. So yeah, definitely only minor damage, especially for a direct hit here. And we can still see the tornado very well, and it is definitely growing in size, and it's now an orange TVS, so this might become a wedge. I'm gonna stay on it for a little bit, but I don't know. Don't really want to go down Route 15 either, so it's gonna be interesting the way I decide to take this. And this is now a red TVS over here, still threatening the Hiram Nateville area, and is still not extremely wide, but yeah, that mesocyclone definitely says something about how the tornado is. That mesocyclone shape is probably one of the more realistic ones. I enjoy seeing that mesocyclone shape, and it obviously is one of the more common ones, but still nice to see it, and I do not see this tornado wedging out anytime soon. So there is a new mesocyclone over here, and I do not like that. It dropped a disgustingly skinny rain wrap, so hopefully a tornado that size doesn't follow it. Now I still need to find a way to get north, because this isn't really working too well. So this right here is actually one of my favorite areas in the game, and yeah, that I think touched down. I thought it was a bulb for a second. It just was not touching down as soon as it was there, and that over there I would say is probably not a wedge still. And yeah, it's not even pink TVS, but it's still threatening Hiram, but will hopefully die before it gets there. And I didn't even realize it, but I'm actually in the path of this, so I'm just gonna chill here for a bit. So with that monstrosity over there being our first tornado, I would definitely say that this is probably a day where we could get a wedge. So this over here is relatively weak, so I don't see any problem with Dominator 1 here. And this actually, for an interesting turn of events, well, has turned north, I guess. But it's if it stays on its path, it is going to go right in between Hazelton and 10 Killer, but like I said, it's probably gonna die before it does anything, and it's now weaker than this tornado over here, and didn't even realize it, but this tornado has shifted, and I have to get this way. So yeah, this is still relatively weak and skinny, so I actually, yeah, it should, like, go right here where this, like, intersection area is. It might, like, hit exactly here, actually, so I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit, and I believe it maybe has shifted again, and it is red TVS and has shifted for this way again, so I guess this way is where I will be heading. Right here should be good to get the decent intercept. I want to back up a little bit more, don't trust this too much. The wind speeds are getting really high really quickly, so I want to deploy quick. Ah, dang it. Oh, wow, yeah, it was only 140 mile an hour winds. And, I just didn't deploy quick enough, I guess. Yeah, okay, so this is perfect, actually. There is a new hook over here threatening Hibbing. This is the first pink TVS of the day, by the way. But, this is threatening Hibbing over here. This might reach Hazelton or something, but it's, relatively skinny, so I don't really care. Oh, this is interesting. There's a tornado emergency now for Hazelton. I'm still trying to get out of the grass over here, wherever I am. So, but that down there is definitely threatening Hibbing, mainly on the eastern side, but still gonna do stuff. And this tornado is dying, so I doubt it will actually do anything to Hazelton, because I think it'll probably lift by the time it gets there, since it is now only a red TVS. And also we can now view the past tornado tracks for the first tornado that hit Wanuska, and it went and strengthened, and then right here was its peak, still not incredibly wide, but yeah, it turned north and then died pretty wide, actually. And yeah, there's no way that this will hit Hazelton. If it does, it'll be at either yellow-green TVS. And this over here is touched down, and I would say probably will hit Hibbing. And this is once again a relatively skinny tornado, so it's probably gonna shape shift. It's already down to a green TVS again, so it's probably going to shapeshift and recycle. And it is a yellow TVS again, so it looks like that is exactly what happened. And since it is already almost in Hibbing pretty much, I don't think I'll be able to intercept it in Hibbing, obviously, but right here will be my closest best bet. I'm just gonna try to pull in right here and then deploy. And it's causing power flashes, so it might well be orange TVS, and oh well, I messed that up, but it is taking apart pieces of houses everywhere. And I did not get to properly intercept this because it shifted as soon as I got anywhere. And yeah, I believe this tornado up here, actually it's still a red TVS, so that is kind of surprising. But I would say probably just barely missed Hazelton, but it's headed right for Wilsonville, so that could be interesting. So now that this has moved along, I'm going to inspect the damage here. I believe it'll only be EF 0 to 1 since it was not very strong. So a little bit of a tiny piece of these houses ripped up, and yeah, nothing too much, only EF 0 damage. So this is still orange TVS, just like that one up here. And I'm kind of stuck then, I guess, for now. I believe this is still the original first storm, so I don't see this doing anything as far as a mesocyclone. And then this one is actually now threatening Hazelton as well, so I guess I'll try to get there. So now that I see it closer, I believe that this tornado is threatening 10 Killer, a little bit more than Hazelton. So this one is finally dying down and tracked really long, actually. Almost the entire map since it, actually now, more like half the map since it started around this area. And there's actually a new little pop-up of a storm over here. And the way that this would make a hook is either going to threaten Mizpah or Hibbing. So this down here is definitely highly threatening Mizpah, and I hope it will form a mesocyclone off the map, because we could get a repeat of the one wedge that we saw, like, just barely past Mizpah. It lifted us in a fully deployed TIF 2, and then moved over toward Hibbing. Didn't actually hit it, but threatened it majorly, and then moved across the fields over here. Was about to hit Waukesha and lifted, so we might get a repeat of that, or at least something like it. And yes, it has formed a mesocyclone off the map. It is majorly threatening Mizpah, so I don't know how I keep going off the road so bad, but I'm here in Hibbing, and I'm gonna need to get fuel here, so I'm gonna just spy on the radar while I'm filling up. And actually, from the looks of this, Mizpah is going to be safe, and it's mainly Starbuck that has a threat. The biggest threat in Hibbing currently is hail, so it's no funnel yet down here. But I didn't even realize it, but this tornado up here is lifted, so we can look at the past tracks of that. Yeah, it's just extremely long tracks. Its widest point was still not even very wide, but amazingly, barely avoided Funkley, ever so slightly avoided Hazelton, and then same thing with Wilsonville over here. So there's now a funnel down here, still threatening mainly Starbuck, but I do want to attempt to head down there, and I think my best bet would be in this direction. I see the mesocyclone out there. It has a wider rain wrap, which is definitely a good sign. I can't see the funnel though, I'm not close enough for that. It's the yellow TVS now, and it's still only threatening the Starbuck area. So this could be very interesting. It might be a wedge, and it might be in, like, actually it's kind of threatening Viracoa if it lasts. And it's already an orange TVS, so that is a good sign. I can't see anything at all because the humidity stayed relatively high, but from what I can tell, that mesocyclone shape up there, well, not the mesocyclone shape, but that funnel shape, could mean that there is a relatively wide tornado in there, and I didn't even realize it, but it's headed right for me, so I need to back up a little bit and then be ready to deploy at any time. So hopefully this means it's recycling. It's only an orange TVS now, but I'm still right in the path for it, and it's actually back up to a red TVS at this point. From what I could tell, this should be a successful intercept, and I'm now getting screen shake and rapidly climbing wind speeds on the mesonet. And it's now climbed back down to orange again, so it's kind of even steady right on that red TVS, orange TVS mark then, I guess. And here comes the outer wind field, and I don't think I'll be able to get into the tornado because I was messed up a little bit. It probably should have been slightly further back on my deployment, and yeah, that's definitely the case. So I guess I can just undeploy here then. This is still orange TVS, surprisingly, and there's a new storm system over Homa, and then this is gonna hook, hopefully in a similar area to this, to where we can get twins. And now this is also threatening Wanaska as well. Now the only unfortunate part is, to actually get to Wanaska, I kind of need to go, like, through and around the tornado. But with that sign, with it being a yellow TVS, hopefully means that it's recycling. I really don't want this to die already. I'm getting screen shake here, and that is like, oh no, that's definitely dying, sadly. It's not what I like to see, but it's what's happening. Wait, what? How is this headed due south? That doesn't make any sense. I am very confused with the fact that this is headed due south. Oh, it's because this will be technically a part of the next day since it's past midnight. That makes sense, okay. So, this is growing rapidly in this direction. I would say that this is probably a hook. I hope it doesn't hook off the map because that would disable us from intercepting. And we should have the new risk for the next day. And oh my gosh, I'm definitely chasing that. 9.1 lapse rates and 5,200 cape. I am definitely chasing that. It might be in a separate video though. So this over here has now lifted, and I want to see the past tracks of that. And yeah, it's not even quite as wide as tornado number 1, so tornado number 1 was surprisingly the best tornado of the day out of that, unless this does something. And there's, I don't know if that's the new mesocyclone or an old mesocyclone actually. And by the where it is and stuff, I would say most likely old, but actually no, that is a new mesocyclone because it's headed south. So that's a little bit confusing how that is, but definitely not going to be able to intercept it, but I'll be able to see it still, and it's definitely not going to last very long either. We still have 3,000 cape at 1 a.m., which is a little bit crazy, but yeah, this could do something, I guess. So there's a little touchdown there. That is by far the skinniest rope I've ever seen in Twisted, ever, but still a tornado nonetheless. And actually now it's dropping down some sort of a bulb or hourglass shape, and actually it's neither. It's a stovepipe, but you know, I'm not very great at guessing the shape of the tornado when it's not existing yet. So is now a yellow TVS headed southeast. But yeah, I see it lifting literally in maybe a real life 2 minutes, so I'm just gonna sit here and watch it. And yeah, it's definitely rapidly shrinking there. I'd say it's probably about to lift. So yeah, not much of a tornado here. And yeah, that's definitely about to lift at 3:08 a.m. That took literally no time at all. But I'm gonna peek the map here, and it's surprisingly a yellow TVS still. But I'm gonna head up back to Hazelton. Actually, no, I'm gonna stay down here in Mizpah since it is a southbound server. Well, I'm not in Mizpah, but I'm gonna try to chill in Mizpah. Actually, no, I'm gonna go to Starbucks since it's in the center. And yeah, that lifted as expected, so I'm gonna peep the track of that real quick. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing. It went literally a total, like, a mile. Maybe 2 miles, so that was absolutely nothing. And I see that mesocyclone hiding back up in the clouds any second now. And, well, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.